Good morning, everyone. We will start in about 10 minutes. We're good. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to May Day 2020. Hold on, I think we're going the other way. We'll get this. There we go. There we go. Okay. We're good to go? Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Suicide Prevention Collaborative. This morning's meeting is brought to you by Clorox and Purell. Sanitize. But no financial compensation was given to us for that. We wanted to welcome you. We canceled April's meeting in light of coronavirus, but we wanted to make sure that this month we at least updated you on all the resources and supports available in our county to pass on to you, your family, and then also professionally. So today, also, before we move on, if you have any questions, please utilize the chat. You could type your questions and Solomon will be monitoring those, and an email recap will be sent after this meeting. So, okay, our agenda for today. We wanted to update on all the goals. We had a focus of 5 goals that we came out with in February, and so we wanted to touch on each of those. Although COVID-19 has made things difficult, we are still moving forward with what we can do. COVID-19 impact on the community. We want to make sure that our collaborative is aware of what is taking place and the resources available in our community. There will be some infographics containing information and resources available to our community during COVID-19, and I believe Solomon sent those out earlier this week with the agenda, and we have those available for you to share as well. And then we have a few announcements to share, and then some Q&A afterwards. And again, we will have a time at the end for a Q&A, and if any of our questions are not answered, then you can email Solomon, and we will follow up with you afterwards. Okay, so an update on some of the collaborative goals. We came up with 5 of them after our February collaborative meeting, and we want to continue working towards accomplishing all of our goals. And if you are interested in any of them, please have them contact Solomon, and his email address will be at the end again. So the implementation of the CSSRS, which is the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, it is already being used at some of our organizations such as Fresno Unified and Valley Children's. And while we won't be able to train right now due to COVID-19, we are working on policies, protocols, materials, and setting up trainings. I know Gilberto and Ken Katz were working on putting a package kind of together so that when COVID was lifted, we would be able to hit the ground running with that. Community events, although they are on hold for the moment, virtual events might be done but may not be as effective as in-person events. So right now we are going to put those on hold, but we are wanting to move forward when this is done. I know Brian had mentioned in the collaborative of having like a town hall kind of meeting that would be live streamed, and so we are still looking at that down the line a little bit. For awareness and education, resources page was recently developed and will be shared when we cover our resources. For Mental Health Awareness Month, we will be running digital, radio, and TV ads. We also have some Each Mind Matters toolkits available, and you can contact Solomon if you're interested in receiving any of those. Data from the case reviews and prevention efforts. Data will help us inform our outreach and prevention efforts. Unfortunately, the case reviews are on hold right now for the moment, but Robert and Kelly will have another set of cases for us to review in our next personal meeting, so stay tuned for those, and much appreciation to them for putting all of that together. I think a lot of us came away with some great insights and some patterns that we could identify. And then finally, the application of the FresnoCares.org website. JP Marketing and Brian continue to work on the website redesign. In a few weeks, an email will be sent out requesting feedback from our collaborative. So please be on the lookout for that and let us know your feedback. Okay, so COVID-19 and the impact on the community here in Fresno County. What we have seen, or what is possible, I would say, in this kind of situation is obviously folks are experiencing an increase in stress and anxiety, maybe financially, struggling with job loss, isolation, possible increase in substance use, and an increase in domestic violence. Brian would, David over at Suicide Prevention Hotline was able to give us some data and information regarding the calls that they are receiving. We do know that the calls have increased, and the average call length is longer, as many of the calls are more complex and dealing with compound issues. Not necessarily are they all in crisis, but just more and more issues kind of compounding. So the average call length right now at this time is approximately 29 minutes, which is up 12 minutes from 17, which was the average call from a crisis type call before all of this. And the reasons that they are stating when they are calling is that parents having difficulty, raising children and doing homeschool, having concerns around childcare and schooling their children, financial and relationship stress between couples, fearfulness of anxiety, of becoming ill from COVID-19, anxiety and depressive symptoms from being quarantined at home with very few outlets. There's also been an increase of calls reporting domestic violence and calls which would require a CPS report. So, and I do believe I was at a conference for the AAS conference, American Association for Suicidology, and that seems to be national, not just here in Fresno County, that the call volume is continuing to increase. So a little update on the loss team. We are responding to families. We are still operating 24/7. Thankfully, we've been able to do that with some generous donations of masks and hand sanitizers, so we're really grateful to Fresno Fire and DBH for helping our team out to be able to respond to families immediately on the scene. And we did do a numbers analysis yesterday, and we are year to date actually lower than both the last 2 years. So that's promising to see that our numbers are lower, and hopefully we can continue to keep it that way. Okay, so this next slide is all of the community resources, and I think one thing that has people increasing their anxiety a bit is that they feel that they're alone. But we want to say that although resources and support might look different right now, it's still very much present. And so we want to remind you, and so that is why Solomon sent this out. And I think a lot of people in this room are aware of so many of the resources available here in Fresno County, but we want to make sure that that you could pass this on to anybody that you're working with, to families in the school systems, or hospitals, or just anyone in the community that you're working with, if they are aware of all of the resources that are still alive and well and providing care and support to our community. So this slide on the left-hand side, the dark blue one, has information on our hotlines and our text lines, information for youth support services available, public health lines, aid available through social services, and other services available. So CalWorks, CalFresh, Medi-Cal, they're all on there. So please take a moment to check them out and pass it on. And there's also on the bottom, it talks about other helpful resources. So Nami, I know that they are obviously doing support groups on Zoom, and so that's really helpful. We've been sending folks over there. And then there's the food bank, information on WIC and Paparella House, Marjorie Mason Center, and then Employment Development Department. So we just want to make sure that this is kind of one-stop shopping. We have all the resources available in our community to be able to pass on to families. And then also the DBH Warm Line, which is fantastic. It provides non-emergency emotional support and coping to community members. Warm Line operators provide supportive listening, practical coping ideas, and information on how to get connected to behavioral health services. And then also the Fresno County Social Services crisis resources. So all of that is available right there. And Solomon did email those all out earlier, I think Monday. And when we do a recap of today's meeting, he can send those out again. Some more resources. This one on the left is Each Mind Matters, Steps to Self-Care. So during COVID or everyday life, just things that we need to remember to take care of ourselves. The next one is Substance Use Disorder Treatment Amid COVID-19 and the help that's available for that. And then finally, stress and coping with COVID-19. So those are all available, and I believe they're all on the Fresno Cures website as well. So you could check out
and the DBH homepage.
And the DBH help page as well.
Homepage.
Help page, homepage, same thing. Yeah, so check out those as well. Brian does a good job of updating those. And then finally, on resources, here's a handful of other information that you can gather on, DBH, Each Mind Matters, and then CDC as well. Okay, so a couple of announcements. I know we were cruising through today, but we just kind of want to make this packed full of information for you. So announcements. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so the theme this year is Express Yourself. So please share what you are doing on social media, and don't forget to tag us, Fresno County DBH, as well as Each Mind Matters in your photos. And yeah, just trying to bring some attention to it and excitement as well. And then the Nami Walk this year is a virtual walk. It is Saturday, May 30th. There's information there to find out more information on that link. You could also contact Chris over at Nami Walks. And so I know this is a big event every year, and so this year they didn't want to cancel it, of course, and so it's headed virtual. Okay, so directing change. This is the video that that students make. That's usually 60 seconds, and we had a ton of submissions from Fresno County. Do we know how much, Brian?
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay. But we did have a lot, so we want to thank all these schools for their submissions. But these folks right here are a list of those who won in some regards. So we have a bunch of honorable mentions and then some third and fifth place as well. So congratulations to all of you. We're not going to show any clips today, but perhaps during our next in-person meeting, we'll be able to show you some of the quality submissions that these students were able to submit. So congratulations to all of you who participated. And then we're going to skip ahead to the next meeting will be June 5th. Location is to be determined. The time will be 10 to 12. If you have any questions before then, please reach out to Solomon. There's his information, solvang at fresnocountyca.gov, or you can give him a call at 600-9986. He is more than happy to help you out. So I know that was fast. It was kind of like a fire hose of information, but we wanted to give some time for any questions that you might have. So if you do have some, please type your questions into the chat feature, and we will do our best right now to answer any that we have.
I want to let you know that there's like a delay.
Yeah, tell them that there's about a 15-second delay.
Gotcha. My crew over here has informed me that there is about a 15-second delay, so we're going to give it a little bit of time for everyone to catch up and see if we have any questions going.
There's a question on, is there data on youth calling helplines?
Okay, so the question was, is there any data right now on youth specifically calling the helplines? And right now we do not have any specific data on demographics, but I believe that David and them, they do track it, and so I think that they will be able to give us that information, but we do not have it currently today. Hold on, we have some more coming in.
It's more of an announcement. California Association of Schools Counselors has announced next week as the inaugural California Student Mental Health Week, so May 4th to the 8th.
May 4th to 8th. And what's the official title? What was the official week called?
California Association of School Counselors.
But what's the week called?
California Student Mental Health Week.
Okay. So next week, starting May 4th through the 8th, is Student Mental Health Week for California. And so being mindful of that. If anybody has any questions or needs more information on that, do you know who submitted that?
Mina. Mina. Valdivia.
Mina. Okay, so we could, if you have any questions about that, you could submit it to Solomon, and we can connect you if you want to know any information on next week's Student Mental Health Week. So thank you for submitting that, Mina.
David Lopez is online, and he did answer that there has been an increase in youth calling helplines.
Okay. Do we know numbers or no? David Lopez himself, Hollywood as we like to call him around here, is on the video right now, and so he did say that there has been an increase in youth's calling, in the youth calling for the hotline. I don't think we have any numbers available at this time, but he did confirm that there is an increase in calls. David and I also attended the AAS conference last week, virtually of course, and we were in a couple of sessions that were in regards to the crisis text line at the 741-741. I think there was some fascinating information that was shared that day, so we would love to share that when we get back hopefully in June, about the texts and what puts a caller or a texter more at high risk, and how they combat those, and how they kind of rank them in a queue of who needs the most support in that moment. So it was kind of a cool informational session, and so hopefully David and I can share on that next month.
Still waiting. Just ask again for more questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions right now, please type your questions into the chat feature.
Just let me know that you don't have a president.
Yeah, give him like a minute.
Okay, we will give you about another minute if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will end the session, and Solomon will send out some information in an email. And if you have any questions, you can just reply to him.
I'll respond. Nothing else?
Okay. Well,
Oh,
oh,
it's just a comment. Yeah,
a good one.
we're good.
Okay. Okay, I think that is going to conclude today's collaborative. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will keep you updated on June's, and hopefully we'll be able to meet in person again. Until then, happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Stay safe. And yeah, reach out anytime if you have any questions or need information on any of the things that we shared today. And take care. Thanks. It's a ton.